Good day, brothers and sisters. Welcome to the Patriot and Lama Show, episode 38, True Surrender. I'm here with my brother from another mother, Master Lama Rasaji, and myself, Jimmie Schwinn. We're very excited today on this message. This is a very important message that we want all of you to hear. It's really, really important. So make sure that you share it out there on social media. Have confidence. There's nothing going to be get you in trouble here. What we're saying today, this is all to help people ascend into a higher dimension, a closer relationship with the Creator, and to be able to manifest your destiny and your purpose, right? We're all here for a reason. We're all here to accomplish something, and we want to help you through the power of the Spirit, the Creator, to achieve your destiny, to come into full abundance in all areas of your life, but also to be a good steward of all that abundance, which is not yours. It's yours to shepherd. It's yours to be a steward of, but it's the Creator's, as the Creator owns everything. So today is a really exciting episode. Again, please spread the word. Let's get this live up to hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people like we do every week. It's growing. They're getting better and better, and we give all the glory and honor to the Creator. We want you to step into your power. You got to step into your power. You see what's going on, the energies that are going on. Maybe Master Lama Rasaji will talk about that a little bit before we get into the meat and potatoes here about true surrender. So how you doing, Brother Rasaji, today?
I'm doing good, Patriot Jimmie, having fun, just enjoying being on earth at this beautiful time. Love the subject matter today, very close subject to my heart. So wonderful to be with you, brother.
Yeah, and they're going to find out how true surrender is going to empower them to accomplish the destiny that has been set out for them, what they were created for, what they were brought back here for, or if they're a brand new soul, just starting out, a baby, what they're here for. And, when you step into that true destiny, when you don't make it your will, but His will and His way, what happens is amazing. And it's like every day waking up. I was just talking to you about this before we got started here today, and we do our prayer beforehand, but it's like waking up every day like that, them children that are going to open up their Christmas presents, right? That excitement, that feeling is how I feel every day. And not that we don't all have our little things going on, but you need to know how to turn that around. One of the things that my brother, Master Lama Rasaji, or you want to call him Rasaji or Brother Rasaji, says that you got to master the mind, not let the mind master you. And one of the things I can tell you, folks, and I've been through Tony Robbins training, I've been through watched Zig Ziglar since he started. I've walked on the coals. I've walked on glass. I've eaten the fire. I've done things that people would think I'm out of my mind doing. And I can tell you one thing. I've never seen the type of transformational, life-changing situations and testimonials that I see with what Master Lama Rasaji and the Lamasery has brought to humanity. And this is the time for it. Believe me when I'm telling you, this is the time for it. And soon you folks are going to find out about coming up soon about the the death of Christ and the resurrection of Christ and what really truly happened during those 3 days. Okay. They don't tell us, but I know a lot of it now. Master Lama Rasaji knows more of it for sure, but you're going to be, it's just everything is being kept away from us because no one wants us to truly step into the power and become like what Christ was when He walked this earth. Okay. And so very exciting times here, Master Lama Rasaji. Let me go ahead and get right to the very first, question is, what does true surrender mean?
Well, it brings to me a story that I'll never forget. After my original 45-day challenge, I'm coming down the mountaintop on the 46th day with Bo Young. And about halfway down, we begin to talk. And we say, he looked at me and he says, "Oh, you want to know about the game of God?" I thought, wow, what a strange statement. The game of God. What is he trying to tell me? And he said, let's pause here for a minute. We'd been walking for about 6 hours straight. Lamasery was an extra 2,000 feet down. And we sit down, and he says, I want you to think about the true surrender. What do you think true surrender is? So we sit down on these stones, and I remember, I'll never forget, I'd never seen him do this before, but he retreated just in the meditation without saying anything. And it was about 30 minutes before he responded. It seemed like eternity, because my whole being had slowed down with my 45 days of preparation. And so he looked at me. He says, he says, God the Father gives us life, and it's like that. And then he says, and then he gives us free will, and it's like this. And he says, but the humans spend their whole lifetime gradually giving free will back to Abba. And he says, I want you to think about that. And I thought to myself, I said, oh my God, that is so profound. He says, I'm going to tell you something. Used to tease me and call me Little Lama way before I even thought about being Lama. And he said, Little Lama, he said, God's going to get you one day until he gets all of you. And I thought to myself, here he is. He gives us life. He gives us free will. And he really wants us to consciously, with free will, give it back to him. Some people do that a lot faster than others. What I have found, Jimmie, the quicker you do that, the more profound your life shapes up, and the faster that Abba gives you your walking papers.
100%. And if you look at the example of the Christ that walked this planet, he truly did surrender fully to his Father and Creator. And he also was a servant to people. And so, we were talking about, I was watching one of your daily lamas, and you were getting into the love of the Creator. And, it's no wonder whether you want to believe in the second commandments or you want to believe in something else. That's fine. I study all these religions because I want to know all the information. I study all the books that ain't in these religions because I don't want to be, I'm not going to put the Creator in a box like this. Okay. Because that's ridiculous. But I got to tell you, I could feel the energy. I mean, I was telling you today, this morning, even the energy's kicked up. How many of you felt the energy shift in the last couple of days, even escalating more, and transformations happening? It's whether, most people think, well, okay, there's this 3-dimension, 4-dimension, 5-dimension, 6-dimension, 7, 8, 9, 10, whatever the real number at the top is. I mean, everybody has speculation of that, right? But unless you've been there firsthand, like Enoch, was when you read the books of Enoch, you don't know for yourself, right? But we do know that these dimensions are layered on top of each other. So you literally, why your neighbors or your friends are basically feeling the effects of 3D and negative energy and fear porn, they could be living Armageddon while you are living a beautiful life, a loving life, a light to the world, because you are surrendering to the Creator. You are coming out with the love that he has for all of us. Love will win this, folks. And if you really truly are going to vibrate in the next dimension and then the next dimension and continue to go, you've got to love, you've got to forgive, you've got to not hold on to the past. You must live in the moment, and you must surrender to the Creator. His will, not yours, because even though you got free will, one thing I've learned with free will, I'm going to send it right on back to the creator. And I want him to lay the path out for me, because there's no better entity that is in creation except the creator himself to do that for you. So I wanted to just say that, Master Lama Rasaji, Brother Rasaji, because it's important for the folks
Sure.
to hear that. And, the true meaning of true surrender, the meaning, I think we're good there now, right? You want to go to the next question?
Yes, sir.
So what are we surrendering to? And I think we covered that a little bit, but why don't you get into detail there?
Well, see, that's something that plagues the Western mindset when you think about it. In the Far East, that concept's been around for eons of times, right? Because they've had the master student concept for a long, long, long time. In the West, I'll never forget, hadn't been teaching but a couple of years. This would have been in the mid 80s. And my last artistic director for the dance company of which I was the lead dancer used to watch the people come out of Tai Chi class. And Tai Chi class was done after all the other dance classes were done and everything. And he was always fascinated that people would come down and he would say, "What are you doing in there? Or Rasaji, are you teaching them how to sleep? Or are you teaching them how to meditate?" Or he says, when they come out, they have the biggest smile on their face and they have no tension. And so I looked at him one day and I said, "You know what? You really should join us. You would really like this." And I'll never forget what he said. Now, he was beautiful artistic genius, this man, especially choreographer, but he was raised up in Kiev in the Ukraine. And he looked at me and he said, "Oh no, I can't do that." And I said, "Why can't you do that?" He said, "I would lose a part of myself if I was to come in there in order to do it." And I thought to myself, wow, what a statement. The moment he said that, I mean, I could smell copper, burnt copper in the air. And I realized that how much fear he had. And a lot of people have the concept of letting go. There's an old saying, right? Let go, let God, right? And you really, when you get into the Gospel of John the Beloved, and he starts to do what's referred to as the mystical prayer, how does he begin? And he says, "I'm going to release all my past, all my indifferences, all my preconceived notions. I'm going to release to God's light." And then he goes into declaration of who we are. He says, "We are a light being. We are filled with immensity of light, and God the Father is in us. And I'm going to radiate this light from my light center out to the whole world, to everyone and to everyone. And I'm going to surround myself with Christ as light to protect me, protect my family, and keep me with oneness of him. And only his light, only Christ's light can come to me, and only his light can be where I am." And this was the prayer given to John the Beloved. It's so fitting. Why? Because later in the Gospels, when John makes reference to, remember, this was not only his master, this was not only his mentor, but if you remember episode 21, this was his childhood best friend. They were only 6 years apart in age. And what does he say? When he's in India with Jesus, he says, "And I saw him grow from grace to grace." Jimmie.
Yeah, and if you haven't seen episode 21, The Lost Journey of Christ, or it says Jesus, you need to watch that. That's one of the most popular episodes that we've got. But just knowing the truth of what went on, and the fact that all the time that you were not told about the life of Christ, He's over in India learning all the yoga principles, becoming a master quicker than anybody ever did in their entire life. He goes in, he masters Tai Chi Gong, I think in like, what'd you say, 6 months? I mean, we're talking, the son of the creator, right? Impregnated Mary with the Holy Spirit. No being has ever been created this way. And the power that he had as a youth when he says something, people would, if he said, "Hey, you're done," the people would drop dead. I mean, they bless him, or they would happen just based on the power of the words, right? The vibration and the power of these words. That's what created also creation. It's the vibration, the power of words. So, man, I got to tell you, I really feel in my heart that a lot of this stuff, and it's happening right now, right here, and it's going to continue to accelerate is a lot of this information that has been holding people back from stepping into their true power, because when you do, the dark forces cannot hold you back. And when you learn how to battle, okay, within that, tell you, Master Lama Rasaji is a master ninja warrior at that stuff. I'm not bad myself, but hey, when you learn how to do that, you're literally going to be able to protect yourself, your family. I mean, I feel very comfortable knowing the people that are fighting in the fourth and fifth dimension for me right now. Okay. And you have the same situation that you can strengthen and will grow more powerful as you become more powerful and you step into your power. And I got to tell you, folks, I want to say right now before we get in this next question, anybody out there doing the 45-day challenge, go ahead and say the 45-day challenge is doing this, because I want it to be in the comments. And so does Brother Rasaji. We want people to see this. We want them to get involved because it's free. Of course, we have private membership if people want to get, more time with the with Rasaji and do the training, and want to, we have more advanced training for people that want to be teachers and healers and all of that. But the thing about it is everybody can benefit from the 45-day challenge and have life transformation like they've never seen in their lives. And I will be talking about the 45-day challenge at the end of this show. I'll be showing you how you can join for free. So I know I've seen somebody asking about it, and we'll show you how you can do that. You also can join the community for free if you're not ready to take the challenge. Let everybody love on you, give you some encouragement, read some testimonials. We're not here to move you faster or slower than you should go. One of the things that Brother Rasaji says all the time: start, go slow. Start, go slow. But as long as you're moving forward, you're making progress. And that's critical, right? We will also be answering some questions at the end too. So stick around. Again, share, sow some good seed, do some good tithing with your labor by sharing right now this live and then sharing the recording. So question number 3, when God or a higher power is now running your life, what does that look like? And we say a higher power, that means, we believe in Abba running our lives, but we're not going to sit here and condemn people. That's not what we're looking to do. But go ahead,
Yeah,
Master Lama Rasaji, on that one.
yeah, it's that's a huge shift in consciousness, right? When the people make that, what we call that cosmic turning point, where they realize, life's not all about them anymore. And the moment they yield to a higher source, a higher vibration, the divine creator of all things, whatever they want to call it, everything begins to change, because now you're yielding to the source behind all of creation. And things and people that show up in your life, Jimmie, they are totally different than was doing it before. And you start to, synchronicity becomes the law of the land. And, the phone rings. Oh, it's Betty Sue. I was just thinking about Betty Sue. And the next thing I know, I get an email, and that job opportunity I'd been praying for, there it is, all of a sudden show up. And it just starts to build. This concept of music, crescendo, which means to build, it's accelerating. And every day it's accelerating more. And what happens is, last week we talked a lot about faith. And so your faith then gets more conviction. And so now you see God showing up and showing out in your life. And you know that now you're part of the secret society, the CIA, creator in action. You're not God number one, but you're God number two. And you realize you're part of an intimate group that is expanding creation, expanding God's love. And it's huge when you yield to this, because it's one thing when you grow up spiritually and you say, okay, he created me and he gave me free will and he wants me consciously to give this back. But when you start to realize that you're called and chosen to expand his love in a way that only you can do, that all of a sudden when you're doing things like mirror meditation and you're reciting your prayers and your affirmations and you're reciting your mantras in front of the window and the mirror, and you begin to see in the fullness of his glory, you see that he's anointing you and it's his power and his will, and it starts to looks like smoky, and then the next thing you know, you see these beautiful colors, and then the next thing that starts to fill up is like these radiating jewels like emeralds and diamonds, and next thing you know, your energy body, your spirit body, is just like miniature galaxy around your physical body. And you're in awe of when you're experiencing his glory all around you. Then you say, oh my God, you cannot be humbled. You absolutely cannot. If you're not humble, you're not experiencing the real blessing. You're not experiencing the real glory. Every time he has shown up and shown out to me over 5 decades now in this life alone, it's made me go to my knees faster, harder, stronger, more reverence, as scripture says, in awe of. This changes everything, Jimmy.
Yeah, it's really important. And, one of the things that we're going to talk about, some people, there'll be another question, think it's scary to surrender, but they don't understand when you surrender to the creator. Now, somebody asks, what is Abba? Well, that's what we call the creator of all things. And somebody said, well, who created the creator? Nobody. There has to be a point of origin of life. And there has to be a being, a point of origin that's always been around. That's just the way it has to be, or there would never be anything. So the creator, which we call Abba, some people call God, some people call Jehovah, some people call Allah, some people call all kinds of different names, right? But the creator, the true creator, all right, of all things, the very big, the point of origin that's always been there, always will be there, always has been there, okay, is who we are talking about, okay? We're not going to get into the minutia of the box of religion, all right? Even though that Master Lama Rasaji tell you he practices, his wife practices some of the Catholic religion, right? We have brothers and sisters that are Christians here. We have brothers and sisters that are Muslim here. We have brothers and sisters that are Hindus here. We have brothers and sisters from all other religions. But here's what Jimmie knows for a fact: I got direct connect to the Creator. I don't need any human being to be an intermediator for me. I got direct connect. And somebody said, well, when do you talk to the creator? In the morning. I talk to the creator all the time, but I do dedicate time in the morning to pray and to meditate, right? Praying, thanking, not asking, thanking for what you want. Thank you for this. Thank you for that. Okay. And then meditation. What is that? Listening, breathing through your nose, lifting your stomach up, the way Master Lama Rasaji teaches it in Tai Chi Gung. That's why anybody ain't in the 45-day challenge, I don't even know what to say anymore. But I got to tell you, it empowers you, folks. I've been doing this for 10 months now, okay? And my son will tell you, Tommy Truthful Dare, TJ, I call him. He'll tell you his dad, whatever he puts his mind to, he gets her done. But that's because I believe, I have faith, and I put action behind that faith. And the older I've well, let's say the younger I've grown, the more wise you get, and the more you understand about true surrender. And it's not like you surrender to an evil situation. You surrender to the Creator, and you bring your will into His court and let Him lay that path out for you. And thanks. I tell people, don't be hateful, be grateful, right? Be grateful, be thankful for everything. I don't care if it's your toothpaste, your shampoo, your water you're drinking, the food that you're eating, whatever it is, and everything you have and everything you will steward is because the divine Creator is letting you do it. Believe me, as fast as you can get stuff, it can be taken away from you even faster if you're not a steward of it. And you're not focused. Like me, I could care about all this materialistic stuff. I don't care about it. My goal is to complete the mission, the destiny that the Creator brought me back to do. That's it. I want to be here as long as it takes to make that happen. So where He says, okay, Jimmie, I'm ready for you to come on back home. You've done what I've asked you to do. You've made it happen. You and Brother Rasaji's done it again. What I sent you both back here for, and we're getting her done, right? So let's go in. One of the things is some people feel it's scary to surrender. Why don't you talk about that a little bit?
Well, that's the reference that I was making about the artistic director. He said, I'm going to lose something. He didn't really understand is that what you're going to lose to what you're going to gain is huge. It's absolutely huge. And, understand fear really comes from unknown, right? So when we don't know what's on the other side of the door, if we don't know what's down a dark alleyway, we have a tendency to react in a certain way. And a lot of times that reaction is fear, but it really comes down to not having the awareness of the thing or the person or the being that you fear. So, just think when kids are young, I mean, they're taught about the boogeyman, right?
Right.
Mom and dad wants them to go to bed at night. You better hurry up and get in those covers before the boogeyman gets you, right? Well, the reality is that every negative thought in 4D has a manifestation. A lot of the times it just stays in 4D. This is why a good part of the times, the only time that an individual will face their fears, their deepest fears, are when the conscious mind is asleep and they're in the dream state.
Yep.
And so can you imagine if one day Abba says, you know what? It's not getting done in 4D, so let me just let all of this show up in 3D. What the heck do you think would happen? We talked.
Would it be like Ghostbusters? Excuse me.
Well, it would make
on fire. Or...
it would make Ghostbusters look like a joke. And the key of it is that, a few weeks back we talked about the veil of unconsciousness, and it's there for a reason. And if you're not prepared to truly see, then what you normally will see is what you give the most power to. So let's think for a second. In all fairness, if you're doing your mirror meditation right now and you're speaking out loud, see, we don't weigh all emotions and we don't weigh all thoughts the same. The thoughts and the feelings that we're fearful of most of us give a lot more power to the things that we have a tendency to think are positive, right? This is, by the way, this is the difficult challenge when a person spiritually first starts to turn their life around, right? Because all of us have inner demons, but we also have inner angels. And we have light beings that are surrounding us all the time. You have a guardian angel, and you have angels that are there to support you all the time. But we don't give the same emotional gasoline to every thought and every feeling. And most people put a lot more energy into things like worry and into fear. Now, if you learn to detach yourself from fear, I didn't say notice get rid of fear. Watch what I said. If you can learn to detach from your fear and detach from the obsession of worry. See, most people don't realize it, but worry is one of the biggest addictions that humanity has. And if I can learn to do what we call varegi, which is Sanskrit for detachment, if I can learn to detach that and just let that move through me, well, when the veil of unconsciousness more and more gets pulled and surrender gets deeper and deeper, trust and undying faith grows phenomenally. See, now you're ready to see, to truly see. But until then, most people would see their demons, and you can't imagine what that would do to the average person. I remember saying this to a guy one day. I was teaching in a dance studio, and I had a guy who used to drive 45 minutes one way just to come to class once a week. And one day I was talking about fear, and he says, "What are you talking about, Fred?" And he kept pushing against the door, and he kept pushing against the door. And he was praying and he was meditating. On top of that, he was fasting a lot. And man, fasting is real powerful because you can really uproot your spiritual energy and your grounding if you fast too aggressively, too clearly, right? And when you start to lose grounding, you're going to start to see 4D and 5D like really fast when that happens, right? So we want to learn to be rooted in our faith, trust in God Almighty, and surrender to His divine light and His divine will. And as we do, walking in His protection, now we're ready for total surrender and to have the veil of unconsciousness pull away, Jimmie.
Yeah, I mean, it's really powerful. Before we get to this next question, I was telling you the other day that I've been feeling well, let's say God's love, the Holy Spirit, the energy you call chi. That's what in the East they call it. The energy of life. The thing that keeps our heart pumping, and we're energy beings having a human experience. Our energy body is tremendous in size. It grows as you get more spiritually grounded and you step into your power more and more. So the energy is running up like this, the same way the energy is running through the earth, right? It's
Absolutely.
funny how our energy works a lot like Mother Earth, right? A lot like Mother Earth.
Absolutely.
But I was sitting and doing my meditation in the morning and doing prayers and all of that, and all of a sudden, now you hear of people being able to go into an astral plane, right? Being able to leave their body and basically like cruise around wherever they want to go and then come back into their body, right? And a friend of mine came over the other day. He was doing some stuff moving for us. And he had that experience where this guy eats like so clean, like you're talking about me. He's the cleanest eater I've ever met. His name, I call him Brother Phil. And he talked about his experience of, where he left the body, saw himself, freaked out, and came back into the body. So I had told you about my experience the other day where I thought that I felt like a sucking feeling where my spirit was being pulled out of my body, but my body was vibrating. And my thought was, what if Cindy comes in here and sees me? So I pulled it back in. But I got to tell you, folks, this 45-day challenge, this Tai Chi Gung, and these exercises that are opening up all your energy portals. You want to call them chakras, whatever, but they're energy portals in your body. And when you're opening them up, when you're doing these exercises, when you're learning to breathe energy and actually learning to breathe more oxygen into your bloodstream, into your organs, and into your mind, your brain, things that are happening are amazing.
Yeah.
They're amazing, and you just have to read those testimonials up on the website, and then just go through some of these comments, that the things that people are having in the 45-day challenge, and some of these people are on their 5th 45-day challenge, and you read all the stuff that's happened to them on this. I would never stop that 45-day challenge for me is in loop. You ever see the video? You can play it in loop, it just loop. Ain't never gonna stop. And my wife now is Cindy, my beautiful señorita. She's been doing this since the 18th of November. And I'm noticing drastic, and let's just say ascension in who she is. So I got to tell you, folks, whether you're watching this live right now or you're not watching it live, you're watching it later, you have nothing to lose and everything to gain by getting involved on Rasaji.com, signing up as a community member if you're not willing to take the challenge right now, or you need more time and you need more love and you need more encouragement to do it. Or if you're ready to get her done, getting into the 45-day challenge, taking it seriously and doing it. And then just keep on reading the testimonials and say, hey, you know what? I want some of that. Because the reason I keep saying this is because of the fact that you need to understand the love of the Creator, true surrender to the Creator, and to step in your power like you never done before. And my relationship with the Creator, the Son, and the Spirit has grown 100-fold. I'm telling you. And I've been pretty serious about this for many decades, okay? But 100-fold since I started doing these very simplistic breathing and basically portal energizing exercises. Just amazing. My discernment now is so freaking accurate. And it's all the glory and the honor to the Creator. But the more you surrender, the more you look for to follow, you surrender, you give your free will to the Creator. The Creator sees that you're working hard for that purpose that He created you for. Things start falling into place like you've never seen before. Okay?
Absolutely.
I mean, and if again, anybody out there that's done the 45-day challenge, we have people that have, their finances, their businesses growing, their health, there's things going on that I don't want to say on this video, but you can go read on the website, but just amazing, amazing things happening. So anything to say about that, what I just said there, brother?
Well, yes, it's that's true. I mean, it's all true. But I was laughing when you were talking about the getting out of the body and getting caught and stuff. People want to hear something very humorous about getting out of the body. The most common sound that people hear their first few times of getting out of the body is like a cork popping from a champagne bottle. That is the most common feeling that happens. And that literally is a suction force that releases it. And people who have vertigo syndrome, part of the biggest reason they have vertigo is there is a fight between the nadas that turn out the spokes and the nadas that turn in. And there's a resistance here. So when that energy is going through its completed cycle, it's just naturally a web and flow. So what happens is we're raising our vibration. Well, we have to remember that a good part of our soul and spirit is already in that frequency to start with. So the moment you bring that energy, that frequency constantly around you, well, the soul and the spirit goes, hey, this is home. I mean, I know exactly where I'm at. But the body, the emotions, and the mind, this is a new game to them. And they go, wait a minute. So separation is a period that begins to happen. But see, one day the body gets okay with that vibration. One day the emotions get okay with that vibration. One day the mind gets okay. And then we're talking about a whole new kind of fun, Jimmy.
Yeah, it's again, I'm looking forward to it. I talked to my wife about it. I want to make sure when it happens, and it will, and it started to right then and there. Um, Again, that's also, are you ready for that? Are you going to do good with that capability? I mean, we were told by Christ that if we had the faith of a mustard seed, we could tell a mountain to move its place and move it into the ocean. Okay. So imagine the power of the human being. Uh, if we were made in the creator's image, we were giving the DNA of the creator. Okay. So imagine the power that you can unlock within yourself. But again, you got to be ready for it, whether it's financial blessing, whether it's health and wellness, whether it's a relationship, whether it's any of that, you've got to be ready for it. And you've got to be, you got to earn it. You got to, put the work in. You've got to make it happen. You can't just say, "Hey, I want this to happen," and it happens. My middle son, I have three sons, and my Miguel Antonio, I love with all my heart. He's got a beautiful heart, a beautiful soul. But I go down there this morning, and he's always talking to me about the news, and I'm like, dude, I don't care. I don't care at all. I said, don't talk to your mother about the news because she just did Tai Chi Gung with me, and I don't want her hearing about no news. And so here's the point. I said to him this: you are tuning in to all the negativity. You are tuning in to all the fear. You are tuning in to everything that is not good. And what you're going to get back is exactly the same thing. Is that what you want? Because what you should be tuning in is to the good. Because if you vibrate in light and love and prosperity, and I'm not just talking about financial prosperity, I'm talking about life, you're going to get the same things back as long as you're a good steward, you're sowing good seed, you're, surrendering to the creator, you're asking, thanking for the guidance, you're thanking for everything that you have, that you're steward over, that you're doing the right things, okay? And you're tuning yourself into those positive frequencies. Well, that's what's going to manifest in your life. It's that simple, okay? We don't need to make this into rocket science. It isn't. It's simple. Abba has made this so simple for us all. And that's the reason why they blocked out a lot of what his son was doing, because they didn't want you all to know how to get into that situation real quick. Okay. Not real quick in weeks, because, this is not McDonald's where we're driving up to the drive through, ordering a Big Mac and a couple fries and a Happy Meal. That's one of the problems we have here in today's society. Everybody wants everything instantaneously. They don't want to put the work in. And I'm not speaking to everybody on the show here. The people that do that know who you are, and the people that aren't doing that, you know who you are. But a lot of people do that. I mean, you get these people buying these courses from, say, Tony Robbins, and 80% of them don't even open the package up. What do you think? By buying it, it's going to work? No. You actually have to read it. And then besides reading it and gaining the knowledge, you have to implement it, because knowledge gained without implementation and action taken is meaningless. Okay. Knowledge gained without implementation of that knowledge and putting action behind it to get it done doesn't mean anything. You're fooling yourself. Okay. And again, this might have Nothing to do with anybody watching this video, but this is for the person that it does have something to do with. Okay. Got to put action behind your belief in your faith and you know what you're supposed to do. So let's go to the final question before we take on some questions from our folks out here. How does most Westerners view these changes?
Well, it's interesting. You know, I had a conversation today, uh, with my own nephew, and we talked about the world as it is today. And we talked about rich dad, poor dad. We talked about cash flow quadrant. We talked about all these things, and I said, have you these books that we recommend in the Circle of Life? I said, it's powerful enough to go through the first 4 to 5 chapters of the Circle of Life and start to apply that knowledge to yourself. I said, and then you start to read the books the Lama's recommending, like The Holy Science, Autobiography of Yoga, The Celestine Prophecy, Richest Dad in Babylon. And the next thing you know, you're reading reinforcement, and you realize that beings for a long, long time have been working with the knowledge of light and energy consciously. And I love this concept, and I've talked with Genius Steve several times with Body Align about it. We both find this quite humorous, and we share this humorous. When in the fact was energy wellness that's anywhere between 5 and 50,000 years old classified as the alternative, right? When you really examine this whole academia that the world has tried to turn into God itself, this whole concept of entertaining our youth's mind to get them caught up in the minutia that you were talking about, it was literally to keep them from working on themselves, right? Think about it. So I'm going to get entertained by going to school, pursuing a degree that I'll probably never use. Okay, so what's that all about? So what we know today and how that has shifted is that when you look at the certifications that you can get online today for pennies on a dollar of what you will pay to go to some incredible university that's probably going to teach you stuff that has no aptitude whatsoever for you to gain spiritually, holistically, financially, and to think that you're going to accumulate wealth by going to the average human university today is completely a joke. But if I'm doing my column exercise, if I've gone to Rasaji.com and I go to documents and I'm downloading the column exercise, and the Holy Spirit is working with me as I'm doing my column exercise, it's like projecting a mirror inside on your paper outside. And Abba's speaking in your ear about what it is he wants you to do. And then you find out, oh, I take a few courses online, which we know education online courses is one of the fastest growing industries in the world. You might want to get a piece of that. If you're thinking about what you want your grandkids and your kids to do with their life over the next few years, dumping $50,000 to $250,000 and going into debt to learn something they're not going to use in the real world, it's time for everybody to stand up and question everything. Jimmie.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, one of the biggest industries, and everybody that's on here, we're looking at where is, this wealth transfer, right, from the wicked to the righteous, and being a good steward of that, and what is the job that we all have to do together? Well, a lot of the planet needs to be cleaned up. We know that. We've got, in the Pacific Ocean alone, we've got a plastic island the three sizes of Texas. For goodness sakes, we got rivers pouring garbage into the oceans. We got plastic being made out of petroleum, which we could be making out of hemp, industrial hemp, that would biodegrade into the water. We got animals floating up on the shores with plastic in their stomachs and coming out their gills and all over the place. But so the environment is a very big thing that we all need to work together and clean it up, get responsible, forget about these old technologies that are obsolete, bring in the new technologies for the planet, to take care of our planet because we live on it, right? But the other major need is education of the population, because the population has been indoctrinated so much for so long that we really have a job ahead of us, all of us, to help wake more people up. And we have a job to not turn them into the fear porn stuff. We have a job to bring them into the light and into love and into, being plugged into good things. Because I look at all this stuff. I've heard people talking about the end of the world and all of this forever. This has been going on my whole life. And it might be the end of their world. It might be that they need to come back and be in diapers and not speak and suck on a baba because they're at the end of their road this time around. Okay? Unless there's some evil individual doing very sadistic things, then they're probably going to be boiling in some nice, good, fiery lava, for the rest of their life, because the soul don't ever die, right? But we all have to step up and help all these other folks, right? We have to step up, and we cannot be going out there and continuously, well, this is going to happen, and this is going to happen, and I'm not even going to mention this stuff. Well, this is going to happen, and this. All you guys can continue to, folks that are doing that, just continue to do that if you want. But me, the Patriot, and the Lama, we ain't going to be doing that. And the Circle of Life community, they're not going to be doing that. And we together, we're going to make big impact on this planet on bringing Abba's kingdom and his love and his light to as many people as we can, so that they don't have to go through that Armageddon stuff. They can literally live in 5D and live in light and love and don't have to be bothered with that stuff. So, before we're going to answer some questions, and then I'm going to show you folks. Let me show you folks right now how to go ahead and get into the 45-day challenge, because it's very, very, very simple. Okay. So hold on. I want to do something because I don't want people to see my email, because, people will email me even though I tell them not, and I won't answer. So you can do it all you want. I ain't answering. This is just an email that I use to test, and I use for, whatever Google wants me to use. All right. So let me go over and show you all this. Okay. And then we'll answer some questions. Can you see me, brother?
Yes, can see and hear you.
Okay. So you come to Rasaji.com, right up there, Rasaji, RASAJI.com. You click on the 45-day challenge. I'm going to open it up in another window. And then all you're going to have to do is, it's free. There is no cost at all. We right now ask you for your email and a username and password. This says I can't access it because I'm already logged in, because I want to show you the back end. All right. But it's just your name and password. By the end of this week, it won't even need a password to sign up, but you'll have to set it afterwards. Okay. But you'll be thrown right into the back office. Once you add your email, you'll land on a thank you page that'll have a link with dashboard. Click it and it'll bring you right to this dashboard. On this dashboard here. So again, you're here, you're clicking here, you're going here, you're clicking here. You're filling out 3 text things: your email, your password, confirming your password, hitting submit. And again, we're working on, not having to do the password in the beginning, but to have an account, you're going to have a password, but trying to make it as easy as possible for people. You're laying back here. Okay. You got the training, the 45-day challenge task list. So right here, watch Master Lama Rasaji here. Brother Rasaji, go down, download the book. By the way, we will be adding the audio for this part on the circle of life. Okay. So people will be able to download it, or you'll be able to listen to it. Again, walking, outside for 10 to 20 minutes, the Tai Chi Gong warm-up exercises, those videos below, right? The first 4, these are the ones. Meditation. So it's the column exercises, downloading that. I mean, taking notes. We even have now the documents here where here's your column exercises, tells you how to do it. Here's a blank page for it. And here's where you got your 45-day challenge tracker. Okay. So all of this testimonial, the ebook, all of this stuff back here, and what you're seeing, what's back here in the training for the 45-day challenge and how you got into this is absolutely 100% free. So we removed any excuse financially for anybody. I don't care if you think $14.95 a month is expensive for the private membership for 8 hours of Master Lama Rasaji's time. You don't pay it in the 45-day challenge. And if you're thinking $14.95 is expensive for anything, or you're talking about lack or being behind or being broke or being any of that, you need the 45-day challenge now. And there is nothing about that you have to put a penny in there. Okay. We did that because Abba told us to do it. And those that want to be teachers and healers will then do the private membership, or they want to take it to the next level. They'll do the private membership. They want more time in the Lama to help them get through it for less than 50 cents a day. They're going to get it done. And by the way, you have another book, Meditating with Rasaji, back there, which I'm almost done with that book now. And that whole audio series is going back there, and a bunch of other stuff's going back there. And then we had advanced training for the people that are seriously wanting to train other people to do this. We are looking for thousands of teachers to develop. We need 3,080 in the United States alone for every county. And then we're moving across the world in the United States simultaneously. Okay, we're already got members in so many countries around the world. And we're looking for the people. We're not pushing people into anything. We're here to help you ascend into who you truly have meant to be, who you were created for. Do our part, what Abba wants us to do. Amen. And then you got a lot of work you need to do too. We all do, right? So let me go ahead and get some questions for you, Brother Rasaji. Okay. Anybody got questions for us right now? Yeah, we kept this one to about an hour. That's awesome.
That's great.
Hopefully you all are getting some value out of this episode 38, True Surrender. Let us know in the comments if you got some value so far out of this, and also in the comments, give us some questions. Yes, you need to start the 45-day challenge now, Keith. No doubt about it. I'm in. All right. And whatever you're doing, this will enhance it. It will enhance it. So regardless, whatever faith you're in, it's going to enhance it. Whatever job you're doing, it's going to enhance your performance. This enhances all of it. Okay. Let me see here. My sister fears I will open doors to a cult accidentally by doing Tai Chi Gong. What would you say to her to reduce her concerns over this? I'm going to say something, then we're going to let the Lama say something. Unfortunately, a lot of these religions could be classified as occults. What we're teaching here in Tai Chi Gong, we don't tell you to think the way we think. We don't tell you to do this, and this. So I would say, and I got a sister that, believes one way, that if you say the wrong word, you're going to hell and brimstone, all this stuff. I'm just going to show them by example. I'm not going to try to change my sister. Abba can change her. I can't change her. But I'm going to do what I feel, what Abba's telling me to do. So what's your thoughts on that, Master Lama Rasaji?
Well, I think my wife probably, Jimmie, says it best. She's a pious Catholic Christian, and she said, who's been praying the rosary since she's 5 years old. And she says the Tai Chi Gung and the practice thereof just put gasoline on her faith in God, and just completely. I think that's the best way to put it.
Right. So if we're helping you empower whatever you're involved in, then how is that an occult? Anything that's good, people want to slander it. If opening up, if people don't understand that you're a spirit having a human experience, not a human having a spirit experience. And the churches nowadays, they don't talk. A lot of them don't talk to church. Okay. That's why people say, what church you go to? I don't go. I go right over here, light my candles. Well, the Catholic Church lights their candles too, right? A lot of Christian churches light their candles. A lot of Hindu churches light their candles, whatever they're called. The mosque, the candles. There's a reason for that. But I have it here. I don't need to go anywhere to get it.
Amen.
Okay. And the more you build the relationship, you don't need to be involved in any kind of, occult. It isn't the occult like they want them to worship the leader of the occult, like that guy that had everybody drink the Kool-Aid. Next thing you know, they were all dead.
Oh yeah, Jim Jones. Right.
Yeah. Okay, another one. I had a strange thing happen during the night. I woke up smelling smoke, but my husband did not find anything outside or inside. What was this from?
Well, I mean, that's a one-time incident. It's kind of hard to say it, but it's not unusual when different masters are showing up that smoke or different incense are present. So that's very, very common. To say that that was the case here, can't really say wasn't there. But don't get surprised that this is way spirit begins to manifest itself. And this is why the mirror meditation is very, very powerful and very revealing. But keep it up and keep practicing your exercises. You're in for a big treat, I'll tell you for sure, Jimmie.
So here's a question. I'm working on a second 45-day challenge. How much practice should take place before signing up for advanced training to become a teacher?
Well, that you've done one, that's beautiful. And that it's already benefiting you, and you're reading the testimonies, and the testimonies make sense to you. Do column exercise on it. Go to the document, download the column exercise, pray to Abba, and the column exercise will reveal you could be ready right now. You could very well be ready right now, Jimmie.
Or you might not be ready for 6 months. We don't know.
Yeah.
Do the column exercises, because that's part of it, right? And make sure you do the private membership first, and you get some of that content. I think my goodness, the videos and the training that you've got in the private membership right now for $14.95.
There are
I've never seen it.
72 to 78 hours archived right now of past.
And every one of them are evergreen.
Yeah.
Meaning there's no date stamp time on them. They're not they're evergreen. They're valuable information forever. Right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so please answer. Where do those people go if they don't move into a higher consciousness?
Well, life's a continuum, and there are 7 frequencies in every dimension. So if you're just looking at 3rd, 4th, and 5th, there's 21 different frequencies. Whether they have a body or do not have a body at any given time, they have a tendency to vibrate in a certain frequency based on their thoughts, their words, their action, and their ability to breathe energy in this lifetime. But most of us know that there's between 7 and 8 billion people on the planet. But what you have to understand, there's more than 1 billion souls trying to get in a body at any given time. Can you imagine that? There's over 1 billion souls trying to get in a body at any given time. God's grace and mercy is amazing. Most scriptures of the world refer to two earths. In reality, there's much more than two, and they themselves vibrate at different frequencies. But if you understand God's mercy and his grace, understand that people are going to have a chance to do this again. And they're going to have a chance to be on the earth that's vibrating a lower frequency. And a lot of people are going to choose to ascend to an earth that is vibrating a much higher frequency. So it's really up to you. My suggestion is two books of studies are smart, and that is James Redfield, who wrote the Celestine Prophecy that we recommend, wrote a second book called The 10th Insight. In my opinion, one of the best books written on getting a group together to create a portal and raise the energy. It's also one of the best books written on people who passed on and what they actually experienced. Now, there's an old ancient book called in Tibet called the 49 Days of Death, where it states that for 49 days, people will circle around their family and friends almost like a movie, and they're reliving it kind of like Scrooge in the Christmas Carol that's doing it. And that's been programmed for many times. And I think that one day that Jimmie and me need to do a Patriot and Lama on the 49 Days of Death. I think that would be really very powerful. Patriot Lama. But understand that in all of this, God is in control. Yep. And understand his love for everybody is profound, even for your family and loved ones that don't agree with you, because his love is boundless. Tomorrow's Daily Lama is on that very subject. It's titled Forgive, Love. Jimmie.
Absolutely. I want to share, because we've got a question about how do you get information on the advanced training. So I'm going to go back to the site.
Sure.
And I've already logged in as a private member. You have to be a private member in order to access the advanced training. And we recommend that you are a private member and you've went through these past training webinars. And with Master Lama Rasaji, we have them every Friday. We had them on New Year's Eve. We had them on Christmas Eve. Back here under training, you'll see advanced training and advanced training plus. Then you'll see all the webinar recordings. You'll have access when you're in advanced training. Plus, you have access to all the webinar recordings, everything. And the private webinar recordings are back here for all the private members. And then, of course, the advanced training and advanced training plus are just add-ons, which open up more live training, which we're getting testimonials about the energy at these live trainings. They're saying are literally off the chart. And one of the other things we're going to be doing very soon here is bringing some beautiful, beautiful frequency music from Brother David. Uh, they call him Master David Paul because he's been with training with Master Lama Rasaji for 35 years. And I got to tell you, I've been listening to some of this music, and this is original music. It just lights me up. So, and that's another thing you need to make sure that you're doing. And we're putting some channels together to help people with that. The frequencies, make sure you saturate your environment with good frequencies. Turn off that news. Get out of that negativity. Don't send anything hateful. Just tune into the positive. Let me see what else we have here. What's the mirror exercise?
Well, mirror meditation in a simple form is that at least one day a week, you should take your prayers and your meditations and audibly speak them aloud while your eyes are wide open and watch what happens to your facial expression, watch the light in your eyes, and later begin to perceive the radiance that's around your physical body. What's going to happen is extremely revealing. And then after you begin to join us, you'll learn a little bit more intensely about this. But this is a good place to start. Jimmie.
Yeah, and I want to answer this question real quick because it's a yes or no question. Have you both have both of you completed the 45-day challenge? I don't know if that was meant for me or you, but yeah. I mean, Master Lama Rasaji's in about, I don't know, thousands of them. Um, let's get to the next one. That might not have been for us. That might have been for somebody else that they're talking to. Question: when I do my exercises, by the time I do my Tai Chi swim, I have recently started to see a faint trail that follows my hands. I can also see a halo around my hands. Is this my energy?
Yes, your energy body's being revealed to you. And it's not uncommon to see it in the hands. When you think about it, the hands are, is for most parts, is what people feel first. But it will move from your hands up your arms. It'll move into your belly, and then it'll move into your head. It'll move into your stomach, your feet, and eventually it'll fill your whole energy body. But that's the natural progression. Jimmie.
Yeah, and you're gonna, some people they call it the Kundalini, the second birth. I'm going through it right now. I get hot like a freaking nuclear reactor, and it's a great experience. I mean, it really is a great experience to go through that. Okay, hold on. Let me go through here while we get Master Lama Rasaji. You had to run there for a second. Yeah, one of the things that I was seeing in my prayers, because I was getting into a certain vibration where my hands were tingling, like prick, you could feel the energy going up to my arms and to my shoulders and stuff. And I started saying my prayers, and my voice almost sounded like a musical instrument. It was really pretty exciting. I mean, when you start you firsthand seeing these things yourself, you're like, whoa, okay, I love this. Feeling pretty good. Nothing seemed to upset me today. Right. So it's all good. Tapping into another frequency is how I look at it now. Yes. And, there's a lot of stuff. Hold on. There's more and more comments here. We're going to do one more comment, folks. We love you. We'd love to be on these comments all day long, but we got more things to do for Abba. We got to get done. Hold on. Maybe I passed one of them. All right. Well, okay. Can you use a camera as opposed to a mirror to do mirror meditation? This is what I do.
Well, it's okay. Let me put it this way, it's okay, but you're going to learn that the mirror is more profound. And by the way, it's going to reflect something special about you. It's not only is the mirror more profound, but the quality of the mirror, the glass, even reveals more. What you're going to find is just like, different pixels, and whether something is 1080p with a camera as opposed to 720 is a higher revolution. People have to understand the crystal quality that's in a mirror will emphasize the emissions of light itself. Because when you examine that crystal quality, I'll never forget a family that I helped many, many years ago brought back a mirror from China, and the mirror was probably about 16 by 24. And it was worth thousands of dollars because of the design, but more importantly, the quality of the crystal in the glass. When I looked into the mirror, I could easily see my aura just profoundly. Number one, because I've been seeing aura since I was a teenager, but number two, the quality of the crystal made it even easier. So it's the Zooms are okay, Skyping's okay, and it is true you can see stuff with live feed. I've been doing that for years, but and even when before Zoom was even here, when Skype was like pathetically the quality that Skype is today, I could still see auras of people, but it does not take away from you having this relationship with a mirror and just doing this one-on-one with the mirror. So when God the Father, when he shows up, we shall be as he is, face to face. Jimmie.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, listen, folks, we are going to ask our Master Lama, our Lama brother here, Rasaji, to do his prayer and blessing for all of you, your families, and all the people watching this live, and all the people that are going to watch this in the future. So, thank you very much, Master Lama Rasaji.
Dear Abba, thank you for what you put in our hearts, souls, and minds. Thank you for protecting our families and making them whole in thy perfect image, complete in every way. Every cell, every molecule in their bodies restored to thy perfect image. As your angels of healing and angels of light surround our families, our friends, and our loved ones, restoring them to the way of your original blueprint, of your original DNA, light on high, the truth of light. Restore us with all the power, the same power that used for Master Rabbi Jesus to roll away the stone. As we approach this Easter season coming up, as Lent comes upon us, let us release all the negative feelings, release all the negative wannabes, and walk forevermore in the light of Christ, that same light that rolled away that stone on that beautiful, beautiful Easter Sunday. We glory in the fact that you're restoring everything for your kingdom and you're expanding your love through creation. We are humbled and honored that you have asked us to be a part of this. To you we give all glory and all thanks. Abba, amen.
Thank you all for watching episode 38 of the Patriot Lama Show. True surrender. We love you all. Have a wonderful and blessed day and week, and we'll see you soon. Again, take care.
Take care.